Welcome back to the House of Takes, a late night show, the show that truly believes if the Los Angeles Lakers were actually 10 games over 500, people would still be calling for Darvin Ham's head. I am just saying, on today's House of Takes, we are going to cover the drama that is Darvin Ham and the Los Angeles Lakers as they sit at 24-24, heading into a game with the Atlanta Hawks tonight. I am Dave DeBaugh, coming to you live and on tape from the heart of the Silicon Valley. All right, so the question really is, at this point, if you spend any time on Twitter, or if you spend any time watching any NBA shows or listening to any NBA podcasts, you will know that people are, and there are a lot of theys out there that are calling for Darvin Ham's head at this point. They are absolutely ready for Darvin Ham to be replaced by somebody else. Look, we're going to talk about if you did replace Darvin Ham with somebody else, who would it be? But first, let's hear what Darvin Ham had to say after they got blown out by the Houston Rockets.
I think we just gave them too much early. We talked about shifting, showing them bodies. Coming into the game, in the last 10 games, they're number one points in the paint, but also 29th in assists. So the biggest thing for us was, trying to be great on the ball and have a ton of support under. And I think we gave them too much early in transition, easy drives, drop-offs. And the team gets a rhythm like that, gets their confidence, and next thing you know, everything starts going in for them. They threw in some threes early. But yeah, they had too much access to our paint.
So that was Darvin Ham after their loss to the Houston Rockets the other night. Now, as I sort of sit here and look at the universe that is the Los Angeles Lakers, right? I mean, it's Hollywood, it's Los Angeles. There's so much going on there, and there's always drama with a Los Angeles Laker team. Ever since the team moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles, there has been drama around the front office, the head coaches, and of course, the players. And that certainly is going to heat up tonight as D'Angelo Russell is playing for the Lakers still. And DeJounte Murray is still playing for the Atlanta Hawks. Will we get a rare in-game trade happen tonight in Atlanta? That is the big question. You'll probably be seeing this video after the game's over. But wouldn't it be awesome if there was an actual trade that went down at halftime that involved two players that were currently playing each other? I'm just saying. Look, as it relates, though, back to our main topic, which is Darvin Ham. Now, why all the public outrage towards Darvin Ham at this point? I don't know. Darvin Ham decided it was a good idea to play LeBron James a bunch in the fourth quarter of a game that they clearly weren't going to win. The Los Angeles Lakers, in their game against the Houston Rockets, just flat out came out flat. Look, LeBron James is, let's face it, old. Anthony Davis is, let's face it, at times plays like he's old. He needs his rest. So on a back-to-back, after a double overtime victory against the Golden State Warriors, it wasn't surprising to see the Los Angeles Lakers come out a little bit flat in their game against the Houston Rockets. In fact, the AI technology that the NBA is probably using to set their schedules probably can now factor in players' ages and potential injuries and potential rosters throughout the season, and determine that this is going to be an uphill battle for an older basketball team to go into Houston against an up-and-coming basketball team with, by the way, whether or not if you agree with his off the court, in the front office relationships that he had in Boston, you know, Duque is a hell of a good coach and is clearly getting more out of this Houston Rockets team than his predecessor. The Lakers, on the other hand, feel like they are actually falling short. Sure, they won that in-season tournament, but what does that really mean in year one? Maybe 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now, that will hold more value. But as it stands today, it feels like a bit of a joke. And with all of the players having video shot of them and having pictures taken where they seem disgusted with Darvin Ham, they look the other way when he's talking. They correct him when he's actually setting up plays. It seems as if Darvin Ham at this point, a couple years into his reign with the Los Angeles Lakers, is currently in over his head. If you will, he has lost the players to some extent. Look, I'm not saying that the Lakers should turn around and let Darvin Ham go, but if Giannis allegedly can get a coach ran out of town who has his team 17 games over 500, then Darvin Ham sitting at 24-24 in the hotbed of basketball in the United States, in Los Angeles, at least when it comes to a pressure cooker outside of New York. But they historically, over the last 40 years, haven't been great like the Lakers and Boston and Detroit during the 80s and 90s, and the Bulls. They just haven't been there. But when you look at this, the head coaching job for the Los Angeles Lakers is a premier head coaching job. It should be held not by a rookie head coach. It should be held by a coach that actually can handle the pressure of the media, can handle the pressure of superstars, and can actually go to Rob Pelinka and say, I shouldn't have to start Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish. I am just saying. Look, at the end of the day, Darvin Ham appears to be in over his head for this particular situation. Would Darvin Ham be a good head coach again in the NBA, like with the Charlotte Hornets? Probably. Like with the New Orleans Pelicans? Probably. But putting him with LeBron James, who's clearly in the backside of his career mountain and obviously only has a couple years left to actually make something happen, to actually play him in the fourth quarter of a game that you knew you were going to lose, Darvin Ham, quite frankly, is coaching malpractice for you. Look, at the end of the day, the question then becomes, who do the Los Angeles Lakers replace Darvin Ham with? Who's currently out there that's on the sidelines that could actually steer this Los Angeles Laker team deep into a playoff run? I don't know what Phil Jackson is doing up in Idaho, Wyoming, or Montana, but he's up in one of those states. And maybe they should try to get Phil to come out of retirement for half a season and see what he could do. Just half a season of Phil is probably all LeBron James needs to actually take this current roster with maybe an addition or two at the trading deadline. Don't trade D'Angelo Russell if he's playing as good as he's playing, but get some additional help. Yeah, they could probably make a pretty deep run. Coaching matters in all sports. It absolutely matters in the NBA as well. All right. Tell me what you think, North America. I want to hear from you. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. And, of course, like this video for the House of Takes late night show. I am Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.